So, since it snowed today and it's just a magical feeling, I've decided I'm going to talk about my Zen Zone, which sounds silly. I know. It's a name that I kind of like gave up to it, or a name that I gave it when I was, driving. And whenever I was driving for Uber, I have a pair of snow goggles that are in my rearview mirror that are hanging from it. And everybody asked me, what are the goggles for? And they're old, really old goggles. They're from when I was a kid because of the fact that my younger brother and I grew up with being able to go to the mountains. We had a season pass to go snowboarding and skiing. Um, Ever since I was an infant, I've been skiing before I could walk, more or less. Um, my mother would have me in the backpack, and my father would um, be right behind to grab the bottle anytime it fell out. And so I've been on the mountains since forever. And so it's one of those things that I kept the goggles as a reminder for myself because there's a feeling I get whenever I am up there. It's a sense of peace. So I'm going to describe to you and let me first explain about how I came across this. Was the fact that I was in therapy way, 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 way back before before I got into recovery due to domestic violence with my ex-husband. And I was in a therapy session, and she asked me, where's a place that I feel safe and, is quiet and, like I can go to mentally. And I didn't, I mean, I thought of it before at this moment, like the mountains. I love the mountains, and I didn't think too much about it at that time. Later on, whenever I was in recovery and whenever I started driving for Uber, that was where I kind of started going a lot more because of the fact that when you're driving and it can get very stressful out there on the roads with just chaotic drivers and with the energy the way that it's been the last year, accidents and stuff like that, people pulling out guns and stuff like that. So for me, it was my way of going somewhere peaceful so that I didn't do anything stupid. Yelling at someone or getting angry over something so trivial and small on the road as someone not turning on their blinker or, dealing with anger issues that I have had before. So I would look at my goggles and it would remind me of being up on the mountain. So I'm going to explain to you what that looks like for me. So I would go to Brighton is a ski resort that I normally went to. And there's one specific spot that always comes to mind after you get off the lift. It's a gorgeous view of, it's not too crowded. It's one that you get off the lift and you go off to the side, and there's just all these trees, a massive, massive amount of trees, green pine trees just covering the ground. And when you're sitting there and you're buckling in, you're tightening your boots up because I go snowboarding. I used to ski until I was 13, and then I now snowboard. I haven't been up for a while, but the goal is to take the kids up and go up there again and go back to my Zen zone. Um, so you're buckling in and you look down and all you see is just trees covered with snow. And it's just very lightly snowing. And down below the trees is just mounds of fresh powder. Absolutely fresh, clean powder. No one has touched it. It's beautiful. It's so quiet. And the only sounds that you can really hear are having your headphones in and you've got your playlist going. And one of those epic songs come on and you just hear it and you're like, okay, yeah, it's time. Let's go. Let's do this. Let's rock it. It's one of those moments where you're just like, okay, you're at peace. You see all of this white down below that you're getting ready to go, just glide through, fly through. And the song comes on that tells you it's time to go. So you just get up and you just start falling down the mountain, but it's not falling, it's flying. And you're just dancing as you go. You just kind of glide your hips back and forth as you just swerve, sliding in and out of the snow. It's so peaceful and so beautiful. That's my Zen zone. So I just wanted to share with you where I go whenever I need to just take a break and to find peace and to just be calm in a moment where chaos is happening. You can go there in your mind, you can draw a picture, you can even, like I do, have goggles in my car to remind me, have a visual reminder, because sometimes, you need that visual reminder to tell you like all about, like just to kind of a glance at it so you can just be like, oh yeah. You can take a deep breath and you can imagine, and then you can come back and everything is peaceful again. So if you want to share your Zen zone, I would love to hear different people's Zen zone. I know that some people do the beach. Some people have, tropical places that they go to. I don't know. I've never actually heard other people's Zen zone, and I'm curious to know where people would go. Not as like a vacation or that kind of place. Like it's where they find peace, where they feel just perfect and calm in that moment. So I would love to hear anybody that wants to share. Please share, because I would love to know a lot more about other people's Zen zone. You have a beautiful, blessed day, and I love you.